Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
It is time for the Debate Hockey Podcast, episode number 73. And we are ready for regular season action in the National Hockey League starting this Wednesday night. And I don't know about you, Blake, but it can't get here quick enough for me because this preseason seemed to really drag on. But
yep, no, it did. For Wednesday nights, opening night, right? My boys play Edmonton to open up the season. Hopefully they get off to a good start. But yeah, I'm excited for the show. I'm interested to see what kind of predictions you got and see if any of them are the same or we're for crazy again.
It is one of our favorite shows of the year. It is our preseason. It is our prediction show. I don't know. I kind of hate making standings predictions.
You're either a genius like yourself and picking the Islanders to make the playoffs, or you look bad like me and picking Edmonton to win the cup, right?
I've looked way better than you in predictions. Way better.
I did say that Vegas was going to make the playoffs, though.
Last year.
First year.
Bullshit.
No, midway through the season.
Well, that was really hard.
And you said
that was really hard.
When you said they were dead, though.
Yeah, well, that was really hard. At January 15th when they're in first place.
You told me they were going to make the playoffs, though. Did you get a Vegas jersey?
No, I'm not wearing a stupid Vegas jersey. Anyways, tonight, it is basically jam-packed show of predictions. Predictions. We're going to go through the Eastern Conference first, then we'll roll into the Western Conference. Then we'll head into some award predictions, go around the league and talk a little bit about some of the things that have happened in this league in the last week since we were last Monday night. And then we'll head into some three questions. I got three good ones for Blake and a listener question from Matt Gardner in Winnipeg, Manitoba to wrap up the show. Should be a good one. I think it's good because I feel a whole lot better than I did last week.
You didn't sound too bad. I listened to it.
Baseball playoffs start this week. That's kind of fun.
What do you got predictions against the Yankees? You think they'll beat them?
I don't know if Minnesota will beat them. I think
I would be so.
I think
95%
of the country would be happy. I
hate the Yankees.
I don't know. Baseball's a goofy game. I mean, nobody predicted the Twins to make the playoffs, so
nobody
why can't
them to hit 300 home runs either, right? So
I don't know. I question their pitching a little bit, but I don't know. You know what? Another thing with baseball playoffs, I was talking to some of the guys today about this, and I hate the format. This one-game wild card garbage. I hope the NHL never screws with the Stanley Cup playoffs and does this. I mean, I know what baseball's grasping at any straw they can because
they need
something to get
first thing they need to do is
fan
cut
interest.
Schedule. They need to cut it.
Can't afford to.
Yeah, they can. Cut it down 20 games.
Can't afford to. Television deals can't play the contracts. You can't afford to. Owners, they have these ridiculous contracts to the players.
Yeah.
And unless the players are willing to take a 10% pay cut, not going to happen.
I mean, they had way too much as is, right?
Yesterday, I spent the day watching football. I don't know. It was rainy and crappy here.
What game did you watch?
I was working on my computer I was actually prepping for the show here. And I watched some of the Chiefs-Lions game.
That was an all right game.
It was a really good game.
Yeah, Mahomes drove the field at the end of the game.
I watched the Patriots-Bills game. I know everybody was cheering for the Bills.
That was a snoozer.
Oh,
it was like 16-10.
Yeah, but the Bills were
right there
at the end, and they had chances to win that game.
They
but
did.
I don't know. You know what makes me mad about that game? I'm not a big football guy, so I don't know all the names, and I'm sure people that are listening that are football guys are going to think I'm an idiot. But whoever the Patriots guy just freaking cleans headshot.
Oh, Josh Allen
at the Bills quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, if that would have been a Bills defenseman
would have been on
Brady, it would be the end of the world.
100% agreed.
As we know it. I mean, it would be the end of the world. But it seems like there's in every sport, whether it be hockey, baseball, football, there's different rules for different players.
Yep.
And I don't understand that. But, well, it all starts Wednesday night.
Sorry about that.
NHL standings is what we'll go through first, roll into the awards, and then go around the league. We'll talk a little bit of a barrage of RFA signings, Leafs captain, Faulk traded, and Matthews butt. I don't even want to talk about that, but we are. Thanks goes out to our sponsor, UBGM. It is the only daily fantasy hockey app out there designed specially for hockey fans and hockey fans only. That launches later this hockey season, and we are excited to participate in that and have a weekly contest. We're also excited to have them as our sponsor this year.
The NHL season is fast approaching, and the season-long fantasy draft will soon be closed. There are lots of great options for hosting your season-long fantasy hockey pools, but not for daily fantasy hockey. Enter UBGM, the first and only daily fantasy hockey app designed and built specifically for hockey fans. They're launching later this season. Sign up at ubgm.com/thedebate and be one of the first to get a sneak peek. ubgm.com. We love hockey.
Alrighty, it's time to talk Eastern Conference, and Blake will start off in the Metro, and we'll just kind of roll through it and talk a little bit about each team and give a rundown of who we think's going to get in and where they're going to be seated. The Metro, I think the Metro was honestly, when I did this, was probably the easiest.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
It really was to me.
Yep. The Metro was my easiest prediction to do, too.
By a mile. So it's good we're starting on that one because it shouldn't be too complicated. I have got Washington winning the Metro.
As do I, yeah. I think they're going to I also think they're going to win the Metro. They're the top dogs. They were the top dog in that division for years, and I think they're gonna repeat as division champs.
In second, and not a lot to talk about with Washington. I think their depth and just they've been there and they've won the Metro so much. Second, I got Pittsburgh.
Me too. Yep. Also got Pittsburgh. Just although
I don't like the fact that they're starting out the season possibly missing Sidney Crosby.
I've heard multiple podcasts are like, "Oh, Pittsburgh gonna make the playoffs." I was like, dude, how?
I think they've.
How can you be that crazy to say that? They're still loaded.
They are, but I still think they are probably starting a decline. Now, I don't think that decline is going to come like a rocket ship, though.
Yeah, but that they've won 3 cups in the last 10 years. I mean, eventually you're going to decline. Look at the LA Kings, right? I mean, eventually you're going to have to rebuild.
Kings decline quick.
I know, but they won their 2 cups, and then every team has to rebuild, right? So I mean, Pittsburgh, they still got Malkin. They added Galchenyuk, who is I think is going to have a big year for them. They still got Gensler, they still got Malkin. Like they still got Letang. I mean, Matt Murray's not a horrible goal. We kind of ripped on him last year, but I mean, he's not horrible. He's still a respectable.
I'm just not a Matt Murray fan.
He's still a respectable goalie, though.
Absolutely, he is. Absolutely, he is.
I mean, so they're probably going to finish second.
I got him in second. Third, who do you have in third?
I got New Jersey Devils in third place. I love what they did this summer. They brought in. They brought in Subban Hughes. They brought in that.
Well, listeners, it's good to see that Blake still looks at paper and just judges teams off prospects and paper.
Listen, though, I really think
still have a goalie that hasn't won a game.
I really think that Corey Schneider's going to bounce back here. I said that 2 weeks ago, and I'm sticking to my word. I got them at third. Who do you got?
I got Philadelphia.
See, I kind of him and hot about that. I got Philadelphia in fourth.
And this is probably the only pick in this division that I was like, oh, man, am I just a little strong on this? I
had Philly in third, and I was like, I'm not sure.
I like their defense score.
They do have a good decor. They overpaid for Hayes. Oh wow!
Oh, tremendously.
And they like. What did you think of the JVR contract?
Probably overpaid for him too, but they're not the only team in the Eastern Conference. They're not the only team in the Eastern Conference.
Who's their
overpaying.
backup? Oh, it's Elliott. So Elliott and Carter Hart and that.
I'm fine with that.
Elliott will probably start, or Hart will probably start about 55 games. Yeah,
50. We'll see how he goes. I don't know.
Yeah, I was.
It's not like I'm picking him to win the cup or anything. I'm just picking him to finish third behind a bunch of teams that aren't very good, really, to be honest with you.
No.
I think this is the weakest division in the league.
Ooh, I don't think so. I think the weakest division is the Pacific. Look at the bottom of the Pacific.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You got Edmonton,
you're right.
Edmonton, Anaheim, and LA.
Right.
I mean,
Vancouver. You're right.
Oh,
You're right.
Get out of here.
You're right.
That. Get
You're
out
right.
of here.
You're right. So who do you have at third?
In third, I got New Jersey.
Yeah, you got New Jersey.
I got Philly in fourth, and I got the Rangers in fifth.
I've got the Rangers in fourth.
Oh, really? Okay. So, do you got them making the playoffs?
I have them as a wild card.
Interesting. See, I only have one wild card in this division.
Me too. Who's going to have two of them in this division?
Or, hold on.
I mean, I got Washington, Pittsburgh, Philly, and the Rangers as my wild card. There's not going to be two.
I don't have any wild cards in the Metro.
Okay.
I got both in the Atlantic.
Okay.
But
I got the Rangers in fourth. Who do you have in fourth?
I had Philly in fourth, the Rangers in fifth. I think the Rangers are going to be really good, but I mean, like I said last week, you can't rebuild a team in a year. It doesn't matter if you get Kako, Hughes, Trouba. I mean, Lundqvist is getting up there in age. They're going to be good, but
I like Trouba.
Just not yet. Not quite yet.
Oh no, I'm not picking them to win the cup.
No,
Blake.
I know.
I'm just saying they're going to take fourth in a division that I think is pretty crappy.
Who you got in sixth?
Well, I haven't even given you my fifth.
Oh, yeah.
Probably want to give the fifth first.
Yeah,
and that is the New York Islanders. Who do you have in fifth?
I got the Rangers.
Okay.
And sixth, I got Carolina.
Sixth, I have Carolina also. There's a lot of people have Carolina in second in this, and I just don't see it.
Their magic is going to run out. Like, I mean, that was a magical run last year, and to be honest, I don't think Mrazek can. They let go of McElhinney. He went to Tampa Bay, and he was a big part of that team last year. Believe it or not, you can say all you want about McElhinney, but
I've always liked McElhinney.
He was a good goalie for them, and now they're just rolling with Mrazek in net. So I got them falling down to sixth, and I got the New York Islanders in seventh, and I'll tell you why. I mean, one of the most boneheaded moves of the offseason was letting go of Robin Lehner for Varlamov. I mean, I don't like that move at all. I mean, they still got a decent tandem with Greiss and Varlamov, but I just think that them also, like Carolina, is going to run out of magic.
I have the Islanders ahead of Carolina simply because I like the forward core on the island. I disagree with the Lehner thing. I think that's going to hurt them tremendously, but I still like their offensive core. I think that team is going to take a step back from last year. I predicted them to make the playoffs last year, and they did.
Yeah.
But I think there was some shortcomings, and they didn't solve those in the offseason, and I don't think they could solve them in the offseason. But I like the direction the Islanders are headed.
They have too many bad contracts.
I just think that right now it's going to be just a little bit of a slow go.
Yeah.
In seventh, I have the Columbus Blue Jackets, and rounding out.
Who do you have in eighth?
Rounding out the Metro, I got the New Jersey Devils.
Wow, are you serious?
Absolutely.
Wow. How are they an 8th seed in your mind?
They have anybody that's proven.
They have
Taylor Hall.
They have a Hart Trophy coming back. Yeah. Taylor Hall,
who struggled last year.
Jack Hughes, who's lighting it up with Taylor Hall.
Unproven.
Nikita Gusev, who lit it up in the KHL. He's going to make an immediate impact. He's going to make an immediate impact.
Okay, how many guys have we seen light up the KHL?
Panarin?
Okay, there's been a lot of them that have come over that have lit up the KHL.
He's the real deal. He's going to be good.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I think he's going to be the real deal.
This is a totally new team of totally young players and totally new teams with totally young players.
Say what you want about Subban, too.
Oh, jeez.
He throws the odd pizza up the middle, but he's going to be good for that decor.
At what? Stirring the pot?
When's the last time they've had a guy that
Do you think it's a secret? Do you think it's a secret that he gets traded out of everywhere?
I don't care. I still think Subban.
You find that interesting?
They saved cap. That's the reason why he got traded.
Yeah.
It's not because he's a cancer in the room.
Really? Because
No.
that's what everybody says.
I don't think
That's what they all said in Montreal, too.
I would
so,
love to have Subban on my team. You ask any of those Montreal Canadiens, they'll say we love to have Subban in our room. 100%, dude.
Okay. Well,
Subban's a dynamic player. He's going to help out their power play.
Well, then why weren't teams lining up for him? Because
Because
what?
he's got a $7 million cap hit, and you can't
More than $7.
They can't afford him.
I don't know. I just we'll see. That's going to be one we'll watch
All
this
right.
year.
All right.
You think the Devils are winning the cup?
No, I didn't say
you
that.
You got him in third.
I got him making the playoffs. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll watch that. How that
All right.
plays
And I got
out.
Columbus in 8th because you have 0 goaltending.
Yeah. That's why I have him in 7th.
So
The only thing that I think Columbus could do this year and surprise people.
I mean,
is
they got nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose now.
lose.
So teams tend to play a little looser then. So that's kind of fun. It'll be fun to watch them actually.
Yeah.
Rolling onto the Atlantic, and I don't know about the Atlantic. Do we really have to talk about the Leafs?
Tyson Berry to Nylander. Has a look around, skates it in, scores! I think that one hit the back barn, came out. Nylander puts it home. It's a power play goal, and it's 3-0 Toronto.
Are the Leafs going to win the division?
No. That's it. That's the easiest answer.
I got no, too.
Tampa Bay's way better than the Leafs.
I have
And
Tampa in first, too. I think Tampa Bay is the best team in the National Hockey
honestly,
League.
I was debating putting Florida ahead of Toronto this year.
Okay, well, let's roll through it. Number one, who do you have?
I got Tampa Bay.
I have Tampa Bay
I think
also.
Tampa Bay's going to win the President's Trophy again. They have the exact same team as last year. Pretty much added Patrick Maroon. They added.
I love the Adam Patrick Maroon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The guys won a Stanley Cup last year. He's a big part of. I mean, he didn't light up the score sheet for St. Louis, but he was a big part of that team last year. That won the cup in St. Louis. But yeah, I got him. And they got Point on a killer deal, right? So yeah, I got Tampa Bay at first.
Who do you have in second?
I got Toronto.
You do?
I got Toronto in second. I was gonna put Florida ahead of
Holy
Toronto,
cow.
but I didn't want to jump the gun on Florida too soon.
I have my number two is as a complete no-brainer. I have Boston. Explain to me how you think Boston has downgraded from last year.
Well, they're a year older.
Okay.
So
is Tampa Bay and so is Toronto.
But I think that Toronto did a good job upgrading their decor.
They did.
That was a major downfall.
And I have
last
Toronto in third.
year. Yeah, I got Florida in third. But going back to Toronto for a second, like they added Muzzin at the deadline last year. They added Tyson Berry. They added Kerfoot to replace Kadri, which is like it's not you're not getting equal production, but they got Berry. They're still loaded up front. I mean, they're going to finish second. Freddie Anderson's great. So
you have Boston in fourth?
I got Boston fourth.
Wow.
I just think that
I have Florida in fourth getting a wild card spot.
And in fifth I got Montreal making a wild card too.
I have Montreal in fifth also, but I don't have them making a wild card.
So
Montreal has to show me that they can score.
Well, they're going to be full of young talent this year. I mean, they're going to have Paling. They're going to have that Nick Suzuki. He made the team this year. I think he's going to make the team. They got Gallagher who's scored 30 goals the last 2 years. That Kotkaniemi is going to take a next step up, and you got a healthy Shea Weber who's going to help them.
I think Shea Weber's one of the best in the league.
Tremendously. He had lots of knee problems last year, and people seem to sleep on Carey Price every single year.
Nobody sleeps on him.
Dude,
he's rated the number one goalie every year, which he isn't.
But dude, Montreal is going to make the playoffs.
Okay, well, we'll see.
They got one of the best goalies in the league. They're full of youth. They got Shea Weber on the back end. They're going to be a good hockey team this year.
Okay. I don't have them in. So let's look at the bottom three that we actually agree on that we have none of these.
Buffalo, Detroit, Ottawa?
Yeah.
In that order?
No.
I
I have Detroit, Buffalo, Ottawa.
Okay. Thought you would have had Ottawa in 6 or something crazy.
I thought about it. I think that is a team that has nothing to lose. I'm afraid they're just
they're
a little
so
too young. I mean,
they're
just
so
a
young.
little too young and inexperienced. But yeah, they absolutely
that Eric Brancher made the team.
nothing
He's
to
gonna be good.
lose at all.
Like, I don't know. Like, you want to talk about Buffalo for a second? When are they going to figure it out?
I have no idea.
Remember when we said, last year they might take a step, right?
Well, everybody in the hockey world did when they won 13 games in a row.
They never did.
And then after they won 13 games in a row, they proceeded to win like 4 of the next 50. So, I mean, the team just is a disappointing.
Contract's really going to handcuff them. I think.
You can't go, just because a guy's young and highly touted doesn't mean he deserves a bunch of money.
Yeah. I mean,
when is this league going to start paying people for what they did and not for what they're dreaming?
I mean, I think the RFA's got a little bit of a reality check this summer. I mean, you're not going to get the 6 times 10.98.
Nobody can afford to do it. Nobody can afford it.
The Leafs are going to be regretting that deal for Marner.
Well, you can't have 4 guys tying up $40 million in your cap and expect to be any good. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to work.
Yep.
Who do you have winning the Eastern Conference and going to the Stanley Cup?
I got Tampa Bay going from the East.
Okay.
And I got my final 2 is...
It doesn't. I just wanted the final one, not right now. We're going to do the playoff predictions when the playoffs come.
Okay.
You just have... I want to know your conference champion.
Yeah, it's Tampa Bay.
And that's mine also.
Yep.
And I think that's...
I mean, that's a safe bet for everybody, right? I mean,
fairly
I think
easy
they're going to be
to
playing with a
agree upon.
chip on their shoulder this year after getting swept last year in the playoffs. And I think they're going to be back out with a vengeance in the playoffs.
Let's talk about one of the more interesting... We'll roll on over to the Western Conference.
Sure.
And let's talk about probably the most interesting division in all of hockey, and that is the Central.
Oh, Central. Oh, yeah, Central. That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Who do you have winning the Central?
I got Colorado.
So do I.
Colorado. Honestly, if I had to put money on a team to win the Stanley Cup, I might jump on a future bet for Colorado.
That's future, yeah, maybe 2 years from now.
They're loaded.
Yeah, but...
Dude...
Okay, but if I would have told you, listen, hear me out here. Prior to their playoff run last year, if I would have told you that I think Colorado could win the Cup, I think 95% of the people, you included, would have told me I'm out of my mind.
Yeah, they finished dead last.
Yeah, so how they played in 10 games last year has changed you and made them from a good team to a Stanley Cup contender?
Well, the thing is...
And don't get me wrong, I have them in first too. I mean, I'm just making a point that all of a sudden people jump on wagons, and I'm afraid you maybe jumped on this little bandwagon.
But I love their back end a lot.
So do I.
They got Samuel Girard, Cale Makar is going to be a Calder finalist this year.
He's still a rookie, though, Blake.
Yep.
See, that's one of the problems is that they're still rookies.
Doesn't matter. They're just kids. They're just going to go out and play hockey. They're going to win hockey
but they're
games.
not.
They're going to win a lot of hockey
games. Experience wins.
And when I mean, I'm riding Colorado. I took McKinnon and Ratton in my fantasy this year. I'm riding them out.
Who do you have in second?
I got Nashville.
I have St. Louis in second.
See,
I questioned that.
I think St. Louis is going to have a drop off this year.
I did too.
I don't have St. Louis making the playoffs.
Well, I thought about it. Sounds crazy, but I actually thought about that myself. But I just thought if I do something that crazy and ridiculous, it'll come back to haunt me.
Listen, you're gonna be.
But I don't disagree that far from me on that. I'm not even gonna argue with you on that.
You got him in second?
I have him in second.
Okay.
But
you're on the fence, like fifth or second.
No, I'm not joking. From second
to sixth,
I have no idea in the Central. It could be a coin flip anyway.
Yeah, anybody but Minnesota
and Chicago. I don't know that Chicago is going to be there either. But I'm not joking. Well, Chicago maybe even has an outside chance. I'm not joking. Any team can be in or out.
Comes in.
Any team can be in or out here. Mm-hmm. Who do you have in second?
Nashville.
Okay, I have Nashville in third.
Okay, I got Chicago in third.
Okay,
I think they're gonna like that team. They're really they got a lot of veterans, and if Corey Crawford can stay healthy, I love that tandem. Corey Crawford and Robin Lehner.
Oh, I like it too.
That's a hell of a tandem. That might be one of the best tandems in the NHL. If Corey Crawford can stay healthy, they're a playoff team.
Well,
and even if Robin Lehner,
they still have to find a way to score. Their defense gave up more chances than any other team in the league last year. That's the part that scares me.
Yeah,
is their defense gave up more scoring chances than any other team in the league.
But they also really didn't have a goaltender last year.
No, I agree. But
mean,
but having a crappy goaltender doesn't make your defense give up more scoring chances.
But it's nice to have a goaltender that will bail you out from time to time.
Agree.
They didn't have any saves last year.
They gave up scoring chances.
I mean,
it's going to be
tough. But when you got an offensive core like, I mean, you got DeBrincat, Kane, Taze, their back end's a little old.
So you have Colorado, Nashville, Chicago.
Yeah.
Who do you have in fourth?
I got Dallas.
You have Dallas in fourth.
Yep.
I have Winnipeg in fourth in a wild card spot.
I Winnipeg makes some playoffs. I just
So who do you have in fifth then?
I got Winnipeg.
Okay, so do you have them making the playoffs or not? No, you don't.
No.
And then you have in sixth, you have
St. Louis.
St. Louis, and in Minnesota, we both agree is going to be in the tanker.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't like Winnipeg's back end. I mean, Big Bufflin.
So let me ask you a question.
Listen. They literally lost 5 of their 6 D-men last year.
Okay.
Okay.
But
that's hard to come back from.
I agree with you completely. But hear me out. So you're telling me that you like last year's worst defense in the National Hockey League in Chicago better than Winnipeg's defense now?
Yes.
So how did Chicago's magically get good?
Listen.
No, they didn't make any good changes. They didn't add anybody.
Winnipeg literally did nothing.
What could Winnipeg do? What was Winnipeg?
I want to sign Line. They could have went out. They could have.
So then you would have traded him.
Traded him for a defenseman. Yes, I would have traded him for a defenseman. They need defense. Big buffer time. I don't care what you say. The guy's that's a huge loss on that team. His presence in the locker room. Yeah, he has a horrible contract, but I mean,
I think what Dustin Byfuglien's doing to the Winnipeg Jets now is the most classist thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, you're telling me you couldn't have told Paul Maurice in June that you were going to think about retiring? You're going to drop this bomb on him, and at the end of August, start of September?
I think if he comes back, I would trade him the next day.
Who's going to take him?
Whoever.
He's out of shape. He's making $7.7 million.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's tough.
Gutless move.
I mean, but if he does retire, on the bright side, they frees up $7 million of cap.
It'd be great. It'd be a blessing for
They have some flexibility.
Huge blessing for the Jets if he didn't come back.
Yep.
So let's get on over to the Pacific Division. And who do you have winning the Pacific Division?
I got Calgary. We're gonna like that pick for me, but I mean they have pretty much the same team as last year, and I love the pickup of Cam Talbot. I mean that's another great tandem that they got, and they got him on a killer deal, $2.7 million. I think he's a lot better than Mike Smith. You gotta remember, 2016 this guy had 42 wins. And is one of the best goalies in the NHL. Took Edmonton to Game 7 of the second round, and then he just, fell off the face of the earth. I mean, he struggled to get wins, and I think he's gonna have a really good year. He's gonna be in front of a really good Calgary decor. I think Travis Hamonick's gonna take another step, and he's gonna have a better year. And I think, you got Giordano, who just coming off of Norris. I mean, he's a stud, and what was your thoughts on Calgary fans wanting to trade TJ Brody? Were you on that train?
Well, I think there's what a lot of people don't understand on that is that a lot of the Calgary Flames fans don't just want them to trade TJ Brody. What a lot of the Calgary Flames fans were smart in knowing that they had to free up contract.
Yeah.
So, do I like TJ Brody? I think he's okay.
You don't like, but who would want a puck moving D-man though?
Well,
he comes to turnovers. I get that.
Yeah, but turnovers cost you, and I can find you another defenseman for $2 million less to play in his spot in Calgary and do just as good.
He's in the top 4, yeah.
What do you mean in the top?
He'll be in the top 4.
Well, it just depends,
right?
No,
because with Valimaki's injury.
Well, no, it just depends. They're either going to go Giordano Brody or they're going to go Brody with Stone in the third pairing. It just
is Shillington going to make the team this year?
It's up in the air right now. If it was me, I'd have Stone in the 6th spot and Shillington in the minors right now to start. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it would stay that way.
Yeah,
but that's where I would be to be safe. But That's probably an argument for for another day. But
in second.
I haven't even given you my first.
Yeah.
My first is Vegas.
Okay, yeah, I was going to flip flop them. But
I do have to asterisk with that.
Why?
Vegas, if they lose Marc-Andre Fleury, they will finish in sixth.
They will finish in maybe eighth.
Because Malcolm Subban is
their whole team.
Oh boy!
If you lose Fleury, I mean it's over. It's curtains. They might win the lottery.
I don't know, man.
Malcolm Subban. I mean, unless they obviously make a trade. But
you want to know another reason why I picked Vegas?
What?
Because I've shunned them every year in existence.
Yeah, and they've
proven me wrong. So I'm subconsciously picking them first in hopes that they stink it up and take fifth.
I like your reverse psychology
but
there.
We'll see. In second, I do have Calgary. I think that Calgary is a good hockey team. I think Calgary is going to have a different approach this year. And I think that approach is, who cares about the regular season? We're just going to get to the playoffs. And as long as we are in a playoff spot, we really don't care.
So this year, I went down a different road. I picked 4 teams from each division to make a big jump, right? In the Metro is New Jersey for me, Florida in the Atlantic.
That's more than a big jump.
And Chicago in the Pacific, or in the Central.
So who do you have in third?
I got Vancouver Canucks in third place. They're going to shock everybody.
Okay.
They are making the postseason. I love what they did. I said it last week.
You say you're a homer, though. You say this all the time.
They're making the playoffs.
Okay. This year or in 3 years?
This season, they're making the playoffs. They are absolutely loaded up front. Top 6 is loaded.
Absolutely loaded
yes,
up
they are.
front?
Ferland, Pedersen, Brock Besser, JT Miller, Bo Horvat, and Pearson. What's wrong with that top 6? Tell me what's wrong with that top 6. There's absolutely... You can
compare that top 6 to Calgary's top 6.
Those 6 might score 20 goals each.
Compare that top 6.
You're going to have 3 of them score 30 each.
Compare that top 6 to Calgary's top 6 and tell me who's better. Compare it to Colorado's and tell me who's better.
Okay, we're talking about the worst division in hockey right now.
Compare it to St. Louis's, Nashville's, Winnipeg, Dallas's.
Okay, but listen, the thing about St. Louis, Winnipeg, they all got to play the Central and they're all going to beat up on each other. Okay? In the Pacific, you got to beat LA, who is garbage. Edmonton, who is garbage. Anaheim, who is garbage. You play them 4 or 5 times a year.
5
times a year. That's the worst division in hockey. That's why Vancouver is going to make that jump. And I think they're going to make the playoffs.
In third, I am thinking it'll be San Jose. I like this team still. I do. I think this is probably their last kick at the can, but I still like this team. And I think they'll take third. And you've got Vancouver in third. Mm-hmm. So in fourth, who do you have?
I got San Jose as a wild card.
Okay. I don't have any wild cards coming from this. I have Winnipeg and Dallas going from the other.
So you got your 2 wild cards.
So I have Vegas, Calgary, San Jose making the playoffs out of this division. In fourth, I do have Vancouver, but they're leading a pack of 5 that, quite honestly, might be.
But the thing is about San Jose, they got worse. There's no way you can tell me that they got better when you literally lost the heart and soul of the team. You can't argue that.
I think he was the heart and soul of the team.
You literally can't say that San Jose...
I didn't say they're any better, but I still think they're good enough to be third.
I'm listening to podcast analysts say that, San Jose is going to be better this year. How can you say... You literally let your captain go. The guy that scored almost 40 goals as a 35-year-old.
But you know what? I would rather do that than sign him to a bad contract.
I would have kept Pavelski and signed him to $7 million for 3 years, then sign Karlsson.
There's no way I would give Pavelski $7 million for 3 years.
So you would have gave Karlsson 11 over 6?
I wouldn't have done the Karlsson deal either.
So what would you have done then?
I would have let Karlsson go.
Okay.
And I would have told Pavelski, I'll give you a 6 for...
Okay, what's the difference? $1 million.
It's a lot to him. It was obviously a lot. Because he was on the road now. He's not there. So, but you can't overpay players.
They're giving their DMAT way too much money. They're giving Vlasic $8 million.
Well, you can say that about a lot of teams, though.
A lot of teams have They're literally paying their defense like Toronto is paying their forwards right now.
Yeah, and
That's
I just
horrible.
said it's their last kick
And
at the can.
there's no way their window is closed.
No, I don't think so.
It's closed.
Who do you have in fifth?
I got Arizona.
Okay.
Arizona's going to get better. And then the last three are absolutely garbage.
I've got Edmonton in fifth. I've got Anaheim in sixth, but I like Anaheim could be the team that might surprise us a little bit. They have good goaltending, and I like their young talent.
If Gibson stays healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you could say that about any team.
The last 2 years he hasn't stayed healthy, though. So
I got Arizona in seventh, and I have Los Angeles in eighth.
yeah, I got Arizona in fifth, Edmonton in sixth, Anaheim in seventh, and LA in eighth.
The big question, who do you have winning the Western Conference?
Colorado Avalanche.
I have the Nashville Predators.
I got
So I have in the Stanley Cup Finals, I have the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Nashville Predators. Who do you have? You
I
have the
got
Tampa Bay Lightning
Tampa
against
Bay,
the Colorado Avalanche.
Colorado Avalanche.
And let me guess. Blake's got the Colorado Avalanche winning the Stanley
No,
Cup.
I have Tampa Bay in 7 games.
You don't need to have many games. We'll get to that when we do the playoff predictions. but
I was just curious. I was like, yeah.
I have Tampa Bay winning it. I have Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup this year. I think
I wasn't
one
making.
of those deals.
I was going to say Colorado, but I was like, nope.
No, Colorado's a year away. I mean, they're great. Going to be a great team, but I just think
I think they'll go this year, though.
Look at how Washington just had to get to the top and then stumble and then they did it.
Well, they were at the top for a long time. They won all those President's trophies. Couldn't get over the Pittsburgh hump, right? And they finally did, and look what happens, right?
Let's roll through the NHL award predictions, and we'll kind of cruise through these a little bit
We're just
quicker.
doing the main ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start with MVP and the Hart Trophy. Who do you have winning the most
I
valuable
got
players?
Nathan McKinnon. The guy's going to absolutely light it up.
I
this
have
year.
Alexander Barkov.
Really?
Yeah. Florida's going to break out this year. Florida's going to have a good season. I like their offense, but I think
I don't know if I would go
Alexander
Barkov. I like their
Barkov.
offense, but I don't know if I like him that much. Interesting. He did have 96 points last year, though.
yes, sir.
He's
On a team that didn't even make the playoffs.
But the thing is, though, they had a top 5 offense last year. They couldn't make a save.
I know.
They had Reimer and Luongo in net, and like love Luongo to death, but he's 39 years old and he was in and out of the hospital every damn game. Now they got Bobrovsky in there.
I just think it's a breakout year, and we're going to hear the name Barkov a lot this year. Art Ross Trophy for points. I have who you had for MVP. I have Nathan McKinnon. in
Yeah, I
that.
got Nathan McKinnon, Art Ross too. I think
Okay.
he's gonna clean house and
Blake is the
I'm
vice
hopping on
president.
Colorado's bandwagon this year.
You're the vice president for the Nathan McKinnon fan club.
Yes, sir.
Rocket Richard for goals. Let me guess.
I got Ovechkin.
Oh, I
He's
thought you were
scoring
gonna-
50 plus.
Oh, jeez.
50 plus.
I didn't go on a limb on this
He
one.
still got it.
I just went with Connor McDavid for the Rocket because I do think Connor McDavid will score the most goals. I'm not saying that team is going to be any good. I'm just saying that he'll
You know
score
who
the
his
most
line
goals.
mates are, right?
I think he could have Cheech and Chong for his line mates, and he'd still put up 100 points.
The guy can only do so much, Brad.
I know.
He can only do.
If he can, honestly, the biggest thing with him might be is if he can stay healthy. 'Cause-
is he going to even start the season? I don't think he is.
yeah, he played in a preseason game, and I think he'll be good to go. I think he'll be
He's
good.
only
to
playing
go.
one, though.
Well, that's
I mean, you don't need much, but
so what.
I mean, we talked about that. They need to cut the preseason down as is, but
Let's roll on to the Norris Trophy for defensemen. Who do you have there?
I'm gonna go with Victor Hedman.
That's who I did too.
Yep.
I think
I didn't even write that down. I just came out the top of my head.
He is that good.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Vezina Trophy for goalie. Who do you have?
Ben Bishop. He should have won last year. Again,
Yeah.
he should have won last year. I think it was BS that he didn't win. He had better numbers than Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky playing on a stacked team, and I think they should have took that into consideration. And Vasilevsky was hurt. He broke his freaking foot.
Yeah, I still think Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the league, and I liked what Ben Bishop did
I think
last year.
Vasilevsky will
but
be a candidate, but I think Ben Bishop is one of the best goalies in the league.
he
period.
is. I just don't know how many more years he can be. I got Vasilevsky just because I think he's set up just to have a
But don't you think they
killer
should take
season.
that in consideration? Like, look at last year. Tampa Bay literally was better than everybody. Like, they could.
So what are you supposed to penalize the goalie because he's on a good team? Martin Brodeur then shouldn't be in the Hall of
Louis
Fame.
Domingue went 21-5 last year.
I'm just saying, though. Then
should he have been a Vezina candidate?
Well, I'm just saying.
Come on.
So then should Brodeur not be in the Hall of Fame?
Doesn't matter, dude.
What? So it only
doesn't matter.
It only matters when you have that.
But it doesn't.
It's no different,
dude.
Brodeur was on teams that were the defensive.
Okay, but Bishop had
Juggernauts.
better numbers than Vasilevsky.
Well,
Vasilevsky had more wins. That's it.
It's a voted thing, man. I'm not saying it's always right.
Who you guys called her?
Calder Trophy. I am going to go on a little bit of a limb. I'm going Ryan Paley in Montreal.
Oh man! After you just ripped Montreal.
No, I didn't rip Montreal. I just said that Montreal is going to.
Who's your? Do you got top three?
No.
See, I got top.
You know what?
A top three.
I'll tell. Yeah, you want to know why? Because it's a freaking popularity contest. I can already tell you who right now. I can already tell you that it's going to be Taco Kako or Paco Kako. It's going to be Cale Makar because that's all we've heard about already, and it's going to be Jack Hughes. Those will be the finalists because guess what? That's what the media wants is the finalists.
I got Capo Kako in there.
And it's going to take Ryan Paling to blow the doors off everybody else to even get mentioned.
Yeah. My top three are Kako, Quinn Hughes, and Jack Hughes.
Popularity contest. We'll see. We'll see.
I think Kako's going to have a
I think he is too. I think he's going to have a good year. I really do. I think he's because I think he's a good. I actually think he's probably long term one of the most dynamic goal scorers in this rookie class.
He looked good in preseason.
I really think he's going to be
really good in preseason.
Jack Adams Trophy. I hate this award, but because it usually goes to a team that sucked and then gets better.
I mean,
but
last year it was Trotz, right? Yeah, Trotz. I'm gonna go with.
I'm going with Alain Vigneault of the Philadelphia Flyers.
See, he would be in my top three. I'm gonna go with John Cooper.
So now you're gonna shouldn't he be judged differently though?
John Cooper he gets the best out of his players.
Oh, I know, but there should be an asterisk because that's a really good team, Blake.
Oh, I get
that's a really good team.
He still has to get him to go.
Same with Vasilevsky, right?
Dude,
Blake,
come on,
Blake.
I was gonna say Colorado's coach, but you would have
Bednar.
You would have shot me.
No, he'll probably win it.
You would have shot me.
No, he'll probably win it. Bednar probably win and probably
he's a good coach.
Probably deserves it.
You know who's actually no? I'm changing it. You know who's going to win the coach of the year?
Who? Bill Peters.
Florida's coach.
You even know who their coach is?
He got there last year, right? I forget his name.
Oh my gosh! Let's move on to the RFA signings, and there's a few of them to talk about, and one in Colorado that is going to be amazing.
Oh.
That was a goal that stood out in my mind because that pretty much ended the Calgary Flames season, and he was dynamic along with Nathan MacKinnon in the playoffs last year. But Colorado jumps it out and gets Rantanen signed before the season at 6 years, $55.5 million, a 9.25
What a bargain
AAV.
This is going to be in a couple years.
Yeah,
absolute bargain.
I mean, it's a good deal for both. I think it's a great deal for both.
It's front loaded. He's making like $5-6 million at the end of his contract.
Well, they had to front load it because
they have the cap to do
they have
that.
the cap to do it
creative.
Right now.
It's very creative, and it's smart because down the years when you're gonna have to pay Makar and you're gonna have to give McKinnon another extension. You got Rantanen on a front loaded contract, so you got some flexibility, right?
Oh,
it's gonna be an absolute. This guy is gonna finish top 5 in points just again. Like he's that good.
He's a good player.
He is unbelievable. And the fact that they got him on a long-term deal at 9.2, that makes Marner's contract look really silly.
Marner's contract is silly.
It's like, honestly, it might be one of the worst contracts in the NHL.
Oh, no. Come on here.
I'm serious.
We have Lucic in the league.
He's
We've
had
still
2
got
good years.
A lot of guys
Two good seasons.
I mean, there's a lot of bad contracts.
But look, you compare all of the RFAs that just signed.
Let's talk about
Marner.
2 more that signed in Winnipeg this week, and that's Patrick Laine signs a bridge deal, 2 years, 13.5, 6.75 AAV. Good for the Jets, good for Laine.
I thought he would have signed a 1-year deal.
No, you don't ever. That's rare to sign a 1-year deal Kyle Connor signs in Winnipeg, 7 years, $50 million, 7.1 AAV.
That's a great signing.
Good for both, I would say.
I think that was Winnipeg's biggest need to do. I think on the priority lists, he's probably higher than Laine.
I don't think there's really a priority list. I think getting them both done was
I'm saying that Connor is more important to the Jets than Laine.
I will make a prediction that Laine will either get them more in a trade or be more important in 3 years from now than Connor, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if he stays in Winnipeg. I don't know. I'm up in the air. I'm back and forth. One day I think he'll stay, and one day I don't think he will. But I think one way or the other, he'll be more important to Winnipeg. There was a trade last week in the National Hockey League, and Faulk heads to St. Louis along with a 5th rounder for Edmondson and
a young prospect,
and a 7th rounder. But I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like a huge earth-shattering trade or anything. But it sure helps St. Louis out, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean that trade was happening for a few months there. Yeah. And as soon as they signed Jake Gardiner, I think that was the out for Justin Faulk. I mean, they tried to trade him. They tried to trade him last year too. So
yeah, I know it wasn't a big surprise, but what it did help me, it probably helped me solidify my pick of St. Louis in second, is what it probably did. Now let's talk about the Leafs, because we love talking about the Leafs. But who should be the Leafs podcast? Who should be the Leafs captain?
John Tavares should be the Leafs captain.
So why are they going? What's going on, and why are they not naming him captain?
Here, I'll give you two sides to this. Who should I name captain? John Tavares. Does John Tavares want the captain of Toronto? Hell no, he doesn't.
How do you know that?
Do you really think John Tavares came to Toronto to be the captain? No. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight in Toronto. He just wants to come there and play hockey. That's why he came to Toronto. He already did that for 8 years with the Islanders. He doesn't want that stuff.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. Honestly,
he totally deserves to be captain of this team. He's the most mature on the team, for sure.
Honestly, you know who might get the captain? Morgan Riley.
Well, and that might not be the worst pick.
Been there the longest. He's seen this team grow from the bottom up.
Okay, so here's a question.
I don't think they should give it to Matthews.
Well, I don't either.
Even before these allegations.
What's your take on the butt incident?
I mean, it's just a young kid that was drunk and did stupid stuff. I mean, every teenage kid's been there. He's 20 years old.
I completely agree, but it doesn't change the fact that he's in a spotlight.
But I'm not disagreeing. And it just shows that how important the Maple Leafs are. I mean, like in terms of like, that's your brand, right? I mean, there's Leaf fans everywhere across the world, right? And it just goes to show that that it's like that's what it's like being a Leaf. I mean, but the fact that the part that would bug me if I was Kyle Dubas that this went silent for months. This happened in May.
That would piss me off.
This happened in May. Kyle Dubas found out on Twitter. Are you kidding me?
That would piss me off.
You're about to be captain. Is going to leave something like this away from you for months and then this bomb gets dropped on Twitter.
Irate.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed off.
Yep, I'd be pissed too.
You do not. If Matthews wanted to be a straight up guy about this,
you would have told him.
He would have went into the office right away and said, "Listen, I made a mistake last weekend. Yep. I'm here to talk to you about it."
Or not even go talk to him in the office. Just give him a phone call.
No, I'd go right to the office for something.
But that
was
in Arizona. He's going to tell him he's going to fly to Toronto.
He's going to have to go there anyways.
Yeah,
this is a big deal when you're a high profile athlete.
Yeah. Especially when you're in a market like
Even though
Toronto.
I think it's kids screwing around, I still think that the right thing to do would have been to fly there, walk into his office and say, "Listen, this happened last weekend. I'm ashamed of it. I apologize for it."
Do you think that she really needed to go to the authorities for this, though?
I don't know, but where do you draw the line? Who are we to judge that? Who are we to judge how she feels?
Yeah, that's true.
Who are we to judge that? So I don't know. Let's get out of here. Let's do some 3 questions.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Lighting the lamp and raising the cup.
It's time for 3 questions.
All right, Blake.
Oh, hey, are you going to ask me about that Vander Kane in this question? Okay, I was like, damn, we didn't
Come
talk
on.
about that? All right.
Why would I go ahead and tell you the 3 questions?
I was just curious.
Why would I do that?
I was curious.
All right.
I was bad.
First question. You got me. What is the team is the most likely to exceed expectations this year?
Exceed expectations. I'm going to go with Colorado.
Come on, Blake.
Hopping on their wagon.
But the problem
Colorado,
is, Blake,
or
their
you can
expectations are pretty good for them this year.
Or you can say Florida. Florida's expectations to make the playoffs
are pretty damn high. Look at Vegas's odds.
Yeah.
My team that's going to expected to suck that I think will be better is Ottawa. Because how?
Why don't you just put them in 5th place?
I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up in 5th. I really wouldn't.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't.
Vancouver's going to exceed expectations, too.
What team is the most likely team to disappoint this year?
Minnesota. They're going to be horrible.
Yeah, but we already know they're going to be horrible.
But like,
Blake, you're missing the question, dude.
What?
You've got to pick a team that's people are picking to make the playoffs that are.
Oh, Winnipeg. There you go.
You can't if everybody
Winnipeg
says that Minnesota's going to suck, they can't really disappoint.
Okay, Winnipeg.
I would say Carolina is my team that's most likely to disappoint.
Winnipeg is mine.
All right, let's do the 3rd question here because that's all you've been thinking about, and you've.
You know, when I saw this, I don't know what to think. It was.
You don't even know what my question is, Blake.
Never seen anything like that before.
Never.
You're gonna ask you about the Kane situation, no?
No, I'm not. I'm not even going to ask you about it anymore. Here's my 3rd question.
Oh my God.
What is currently the biggest rivalry in the National Hockey League?
Oh. I'm gonna have to go Toronto-Boston right now, just because all the playoff series they've played.
You're crazy.
What?
Vegas, San Jose. They can fight in a preseason game, dude.
A rivalry?
Yes.
For 2 years, and it's the biggest rivalry all of a sudden.
You watch this year.
No way.
Those games they play this
weekend. Why? Because
weekend.
Arundel elbowed Stone and all hell ensued?
No, from what happened in the playoffs last year too. This is going to be
Vegas got screwed over?
This is going to be one of the hottestly contested rivalries.
Okay, so you want to talk about this Kane situation then?
Yeah.
What did you think about that? There's you should have mentioned 2 things.
Here's the deal. I think that whole situation got blown out of proportion
By the linesman.
by both.
Okay, so I don't know if my eyes are messed up, but
My only thing the linesman did wrong
was grab him during the play.
Was stop a player during the play. But here's why, though. We had to preface this, and you have to use your head a little bit. This is a preseason game. First off, here's my question. Why in the hell is Vegas and San Jose scheduling a preseason game when they know that there's going to be possible bad blood? Why in the hell would those general managers put their players in a situation where somebody could get suspended? You pick your preseason schedule. That is plain ass stupid. Plain ass stupid, and both those GMs should get pulled out on the carpet by their ownership groups. That is stupid as hell, because Evander Kane's going to miss hockey because of this.
He's going to miss 10 games.
No, he's not. He's going to get 3.
He slashed the official in the back of the leg.
Aim, and I can't believe I'm defending.
He still hit him.
I know. I can't believe I'm defending Patrick Kane, but he wasn't. Evander Kane, because I don't like Evander Kane in the way he's a loose.
He literally 2-handed the linesman in the back of the leg.
He
was trying to hit. Who was it? England.
Yeah.
and he slashed the back in the back of the legs, and then he pushed the ref.
He did push the ref.
Yeah, like that's 10. That's a minimum 10 games.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get 10.
Go look it up in the rule book.
I agree. I know, but
how are you saying he's going to get 3?
Because the NHL is going to fold.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me though.
I'll tell you, I will not be wrong on this.
Send a message and protect the refs. No, you're getting a 3 game. When it says in the rule book, an abuse to an official is in a minimum 10 game suspension. He whacked him in the back of the legs. I couldn't believe that.
I know, but he wasn't aiming for him. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. If I take a gun out and I shoot the gun and I hit the wrong person.
I meant to hit the back of the wall.
I know.
Still go to prison.
I'm with you.
God, he's getting 10 games.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Getting 10 games.
I don't disagree.
They have to get this right. Because if they don't,
I'm telling you right now,
the officials are going to be pissed off.
By the time this podcast gets released, which will probably be Tuesday evening, they'll have already announced that he gets 3 games.
Everybody,
just watch.
That always happens to us.
I know.
Like
how do you not?
What 2 weeks ago, right after Besser signed.
I know. It's just the way it goes when you're recording. I mean, that's just the way it is. All right, listener question. Thank you, Matt Gardner, for a good question from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and he's got a question about his home team. And that is, now that Laine has signed, should the Jets trade him? They need a defenseman, and having him under a contract signed ups his value versus not having him signed.
I literally told you this 10 minutes ago. What I would have done.
You can't trade him as an RFA.
I'm saying trade him now.
That's what the question is.
Yeah, I would trade him.
That's what Matt wants to know.
I would trade him for a defenseman. You need defense.
And I think right now you'd probably get pretty good value. And as a matter of fact, I've heard rumblings of trade talk where people are offering up some pretty good amounts, like Detroit. It's just rumblings.
But the thing is, like, their decore's not good. You
can say that, Blake. I'm serious.
Dude.
So hear me out.
In the Western Conference, you cannot get by with an average decor.
I'm going to laugh so hard this year because Winnipeg is going to show you up so bad.
And if they do, good for them.
You've ripped them so much.
They got a good offense. Good for them.
You've ripped them a lot.
Their defense is not good, and you can't even say that they're not good.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's good enough to get them to the playoffs because this is a talented core up front.
You know, name me their top 4 right now. I bet you can't.
Defenseman?
Yeah.
Morrissey, and they got that Nico guy that I really like. But I'm sorry,
like Neil Pionk, is he your top 2 D man?
No.
Is he Morrissey's partner?
No.
Come on,
I mean,
you can't.
Okay, so Blake, I could do that to you about Florida. I mean, you pick them to go to the playoffs. I mean,
Florida's got Ekblad, Yandel. They're got good decor. They got one of the best goalies in the league.
Yeah, no, their decor is better than Winnipeg's decor, but I think Winnipeg's forward core is one of the best in the league.
Florida's is up there with theirs. You just told me that Barkov's winning the Hart.
He is.
Come on. Not for the.
So you would trade him right now?
Yes, I would.
That'll be interesting.
I think that Connor's more valuable to the Jets than Laine. That's why he got a 7-year deal. Laine got a 2-year deal.
Well, that and Laine didn't want to sign for that long, and I think Laine wants out of Winnipeg in my mind. But
did you see what he said? Oh, those comments were overblown about the.
Well, I think a lot of things do get overblown.
Yeah, especially when it's a different language.
I do. I think a lot of things do get overblown because you know what? Everybody wants the story, right?
Yep.
Thanks for listening to The Debate. Follow us on Twitter at Debate Hockey. Check out our Facebook page, The Debate Hockey Podcast. Rate and review us on iTunes. Subscribe to the Inside Edge Hockey News newsletter. And make sure you support our sponsor, UBGM.
Wouldn't it be incredible if there was a daily fantasy sports app that was built for hockey? And not just an afterthought to football and other sports? We are excited to introduce UBGM.com. The first hockey-centric daily fantasy app. UBGM will be launching later this fall and needs your feedback. Expert, casual, and new players welcome. Sign up at ubgm.com/thedebate to become a VIP member. Get connected. The Debate Hockey Podcast can be found on Twitter at Debate Hockey. Also, make sure you check us out on our Facebook page, The Debate Hockey Podcast. Brad Burud can be found on Twitter at Brad Burud, and co-host Blake Friars can also be found on Twitter at Friars_Blake. If you like what you hear, please rate and review us on Apple Podcast. The Debate Hockey Podcast can be found on all major podcast players. And please consider subscribing to the Inside Edge Hockey News on Patreon. That'll get you exclusive content and much more. Thanks again and enjoy the hockey action.
Kevin Bieksa had come up and had a word with Westgarth a moment ago, and now Bieksa is going to face off against Westgarth, so the defenseman moves up for the Canucks.
Tortorella at the Vancouver bench is already looking at the
and here we
Calgary
go.
bench.
Line brawl to start this game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.